These numbers were compiled by the Federal Reserve of San Francisco from the Census Bureau 2011 U.S. International Trade Data, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the Commerce Department's Bureau of Economic Analysis. It's all on the Facebook page right now. Just scroll down a little bit, and you can see the source, all this, and all the background information and all that. This right here, this is not punditry. This is not fear-mongering. There's no agenda here. This is the truth and facts and reality. Of all the money spent by Americans, what percentage of consumer spending is spent on items made in China? Guys, take a step. Of all the money spent by Americans, what percentage of consumer spending is on items made in China? What do you think? What's your guess? What percentage? The percentage of all consumer spending things made in China? Let me tell you who the people I've talked to. They said 65% of things we buy, consumer spending made in China. Had a 75%, had a 60, 65. Is that sort of where you are, sort of around there? 65, 78, maybe 8% there. Of all the consumer spending by Americans, the percent of things that we buy made in China, the answer, 2.7%. 2.7%. 2.7. Think about this in your life and you'll see this to be true. 2/3 of what we spend money on are services. So when you go to a football game and you buy tickets and you pay to park and you buy a hot dog, when you go get a haircut and when you have an accountant and you go to the dry cleaner, all of this spending is on things in America. Obviously, services are in America. 2/3 of our spending is on services. The other 1/3 are on goods. Of all the 1/3 of goods, durable goods, washing machines, TVs, furniture. So you got 2/3 on services. This 1/3 on goods. Take that group. 2/3 of that are on goods made in America. 1/3 of the third is on goods made in other countries. So this means 88.5% of consumer purchases are things made in America. 11.5% of our money is spent on things not made in America. How much of that is from China? About a quarter of all of our foreign purchases, so about 25% of our foreign purchases. So in total, 2.7% of our spending are on things made in China. 2.7%. Now, let's take another step further. Let's say you buy a pair of sneakers that say made in China inside the color. Let's say you buy it for $100. We think $100 goes right off to China. No. The bulk of that money stays in America and goes to the Sports Authority, money goes to the truck driver, money goes to the shipping company, money goes to the marketers and designers at Nike, which was in Oregon. 55% of every purchase of something made in China, 55% of that money stays in America, which means if 2.7% of all consumer expenditures are on things made in China, and only 45% of that purchase actually makes it to China, that means only 1.2% of all of your expenditures make it to China. 1.2%. So all the politicians and protectionists are getting you riled up over 1.2% of your expenditures. We have presidential candidates freaking out, cracking down on Chinese cheaters for 1.2% of your purchases. Now, the one thing on China that we do need to crack down on is copyright infringement. That's good. But trade? No. Currency manipulation? No, it's a gift. You're making things less expensive for American consumers. Get out of the way, DC. Things are going fine. Now, how are politicians able to get people so riled up about 1.2%? Easy. By intentionally confusing you. Buying something made in China with the U.S. government spending too much money and China buying our debt. Those are two completely different things. You buying something made in China, which rarely happens, 2.7% of your expenditure, has nothing to do with the fact that the U.S. government spends more money than they have and therefore needs to borrow money from China. Nothing. You buying something from someone in China has nothing to do with China buying our debt. You trading with someone in China makes your life better, makes their life better, everyone wins. The U.S. government is in debt to China because they spend too much money and need to get bailed out. That's a loss. When you buy something from someone in China, you're not in debt to them. You're trading. But when the federal government runs out of money and needs to sell their debt to China, then we are in debt to them. That is bad. that is totally and completely different than you buying something made in China.